Hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar on working with customer workflows in manufacturing industry. My name is Sushil Chaudhary and I have joined with another speaker, Kushag Goswami. I would like to give brief introduction of Kushag first. He is senior solution specialist at ServiceNow. Kushagra has over a decade of IT experience from tech startups to global enterprise softwares. He has worked with some of the best organizations in the industry. He now supports organizations in their customer service transformation journey. So today, Kushagra will speak about customer service transformation with ServiceNow and different success stories. Welcome, Kushag. And I'm Sushil, currently working as senior solution consultant at DX Sherpa Technologies. I have more than 10 years of IT experience, mainly solution consulting experience in IT service, customer service industry. I'll be presenting about customer service trends in manufacturing industry today. Before we move ahead with this webinar, these are few housekeeping notes. You can post your questions in to Q&A window during the webinar, and we will address them at the end of this webinar. Or you can even email us your questions later on info@dxsherpa.com. And with this, I would like to get started with our webinar today. As I mentioned earlier, today we'll be speaking about customer workflows in manufacturing industry. So I'll start with the trends about customer service manufacturing industry. So in some of the segments of manufacturing, the customer relationships isn't owned by the manufacturer. Often it lives somewhere with distributors or system integrators, and in those cases, it can be hard to build customer trust and relationships, and that is necessary to sell or scale a service offerings. Or even if the manufacturers own the customer relationships, they may have underinvested in customer service, or they may suffer from poor perception or low net promoter scores. Customer service is rapidly changing nowadays because customers are changing. They are more empowered and connected than before. Customers are demanding more personalized services, and the business that delivers the higher level of services will see multiple benefits. And the business buyer expect companies to respond and interact with them in real time. So meeting these customer expectations require completely different service infrastructure that allows customers a real-time visibility or personalized experience, and then different omni-channel engagement. And getting ahead of this industry changes and establishing the right system or platform or the processes will help manufacturers deliver smarter and more personalized services, which ultimately can help to gain customer loyalty and grow their businesses. And that's why customer service is more important in manufacturing industry nowadays. And in an era where growing competition is creating around pricing, so the manufacturers are finding themselves unable to compete only on pricing. They want some other factors as well. So rather than participating in a race so that they can be at the bottom side of this pricing, they are finding a different ways to demonstrate their values, like through meeting or anticipating the customer needs better than the pricing competition. So different customers says technology has made it easier for them, to make the business elsewhere. So companies are focusing more on customer desires and rather than choosing solutions. And then digital tools. There are multiple digital tools. So these digital tools and human interactions must work in harmony. So like if a business wants for success in their business lines, so uniting these digital tools and human talent to serve customers and establishing a customer service mindset requires internal changes in a manufacturing industry. So that's the reason manufacturing industry are focusing more towards building a deep customer relationships. They are focusing more on proactive service and predictive maintenance. So predictive maintenance keeps productions on track. Whenever a breakdown or occurs in a critical equipment that is costly to manufacturers in terms of repairs, downtimes, or loss of productivity. And that's the reason predictive analytics enables manufacturers to monitor equipment performance. And there is omni-channel for connected customers. Artificial intelligence, we are hearing a lot about this. So artificial intelligence for customer service, which many advanced manufacturing companies are implementing these new technologies like artificial intelligence, internet of things, IoT devices, data and analytics to drive growth and profitability into their business. So we'll be talking about these different trends today. And that's the reason today, as I mentioned, we are focusing more towards customer service trends in manufacturing. So these are a couple of trends which we had observed and we'll be discussing today, like focusing on customer relationships, proactive service through IoT and platform, then team collaboration across the business, service agent empowerment, how you can empower your agents or the service teams who are handling the customer queries, and then omni-channel experience, how you can provide the multiple omni-channel experience to your customers, and lastly, the artificial intelligence part. So I'll start with the first train about the focus on customer relationships. So many manufacturing service teams are struggling to create a deeper customer relationship so that they can provide a consistent experience across the different customer channels. So manufacturing service teams say they have become more focused on creating a customer deeper customer relationships rather than earlier. So that's the reason we have observed different importance of building a customer relationship, how it can be very helpful to you. It can help to increase the customer lifetime value. Like the longer the customer retains with you, the greater is the value provided during the lifetime relationships. And it also helps to reduce the customer churn. When you adopt the right techniques to build customer relationships, you deliver a great experience, which brings your customers back to you and reduces the chances of customer chance. So by delivering expected service, you stop them from switching to other brands. Also, you improve your customer loyalty. Say example, acquiring a new customer can cost almost say example 5 times more than retaining an existing customer. So how you maintain a good customer relationships determines the customer loyalty. So that's one of the first trend which we had observed. And then proactive service through IoT. So like many manufacturing companies are investing on expensive machinery. So when these expensive machineries are online, the difference between proactively and reactive service for a breakdown on these machineries can mean a substantial impact on both customers and both manufacturers. So as the Internet of Things becoming more mainstream, a growing number of manufacturers are deploying connected devices so that they can deliver a predictive services to their customers. Manufacturers are looking at ways to leverage these IoT devices so that they can provide more smarter services and create a happier customers, and so that they can grow their business accordingly. And that's the reason we are seeing the multiple benefits through these IoT devices. So these IoT enabled devices are already making continuous condition monitoring as a reality for different industries. So which can help them make a better predictions, and when maintenance kind of things should be performed. So these IoT technologies are making machines more actionable. Say example, remote monitoring. So IoT devices in your field service can help you detect anomalies through remote monitoring, and you can provide a proactive support to your customers. And also when we talk about efficient technicians, so with this efficient procedural approach, the field service professional can significantly reduce the efforts or the time to search the problems or the issues which are being faced by the customers. So you can reduce that time and then also improve the skill set of your technicians. Then you also have the proactive repairs. So with this Internet of Things or the IoT devices, you will be able to continuously monitor and collect the device's data for more accurate analytics, and so that you can provide proactive repair services to your clients. This continuous monitoring also allows your field service professionals to react differently when the issues occurs, so that they can avoid the major disruption to the services. There is also a real-time diagnostics. So instead of manually sending a professional for a diagnosis, you can also diagnose the issue remotely and repair them. So these are the few benefits which were observed along the lines of IoT devices. And when we talk about the next trends, the collaboration across the different teams within your business. So we have observed manufacturers have historically been siloed. So different departments are being siloed. They are more focused on getting the best product out of the door, and that also more cost effective way. And that's even uniting sales and service data and gaining a complete view of the customer has been difficult in earlier days. But connected customers has made it possible. So to generate different value changes, the manufacturing like a quality assurance team or supply chain processes, so these representatives from different functions should work together, and so that they can generate a value together. And that's the reason this cross functional engagement is something most benchmark trend which is currently trending. Then we have observed many executives have reported the collaboration between different like buyers, manufacturers, or R&D functions were were poorly managed earlier. But with these new technologies which are coming in, they have made it quite easy for them to communicate between across different multiple channels or teams. And then many companies are already started investing in this efforts to make these cross functional teams towards the innovation, so that they can provide a joint innovation to the suppliers. And then also about organizational governance. So when I talk about organizational governance, so you can monitor a customer's or your internal team's performance from a single view, a single unified view. So it will help you to provide a single unified view for your customers as well, and for your internal teams or different channels which you are working with. And then agent empowerment is also important, because when I say giving a certain powers to your service teams, like giving access to customers contracts or warranties, or different install base, and the entitlement data. So manufacturers are empowering agents to provide a faster and more personalized services to the customers. And then among different manufacturing service teams, they are focusing on these issues. And that's the reason one of the ways to empower your customers is by using the app, deploying the interaction, first call resolution for the cases, how you can find the average resolution time, or the total resolved cases. So one of the best thing you can do is give them a power to go extra mile and make your customer happy. For your customer service team, you can empower your customer service team through training about the different work processes which you have been doing. There are many manufacturers are expanding their services channels to meet the customer needs, so that they can provide a connected customer experience, be it cost effective way, or like knowledge based providing, or this self service portal provision for your end customers. So this is one of the trend which we have observed. And this omni channel experience offer a customers a seamless experience, so that they can interact with you seamlessly. And aligning these expectations about this omni channel help companies achieve several key goals. Say example, chatbots which are available 24 by 7 for customers whenever they need any kind of help. You can use mobile apps where customers can raise query on the run, or the field service agents who are always on the run, they can take help of the platform, and then they can solve customer queries on the run as well. They can update the status of the queries or the work orders which has been assigned to them. The web portals where customers can help themselves whenever required. And then ultimately communities and social media channels which we have observed. And lastly, about artificial intelligence for self-service. So these are different instances where AI can make service interaction run in a smarter or more predictive fashion. So AI is changing the face of customer service, as we had discussed earlier. It is helping to gain the real-time insight across all customer contact channels. It is helping you to optimize your agent availability. It can help you to reduce the wait times. It can help you to reduce the opportunities or find the opportunities for proactive service delivery. You can also help your customers to provide the personalized services, like AI and augmented or virtual reality. These are the different ways through which you can offer a personalized service, or insights you can have from the customers through predictive analytics. And then lastly, the predictive insights. So companies want to improve the customer relationships with more relevant information to increase transparency and communications. So with this, I'll come to the end of this first part. Now I'd like to hand over to Kushagra for taking us through the next part of presentation, and he will guide us through the customer service journey along with ServiceNow platform. Thank you all for listening today. Kushagra, over to you.
On the manufacturing side that you talked about, Sushil, so thanks for presenting that. And we wanted to, I wanted to make sure that while you cover up on the trends, we are also able to, syndicate the same thing with how ServiceNow is moving towards the manufacturing side, and how we are making sure that how can we be, the center, the fulcrum for any manufacturing organization, connecting all of their entire ecosystem with the system of action that ServiceNow is. So just a quick declaration of safe harbor. What you're listening today, there may be some certain future forward-looking statements in this. So while you're taking decisions, please come back to us, talk to us about it, and then go ahead with your decisions. The first and the foremost thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention is, and this is something that we have learned from while we are interacting to a larger audience across the globe. We understand that manufacturers are making investments in digitizing as a mean to address on a high level four basic things, which is in the factory, how do they bring the digitization, which is Industry 4.0, in the supply chain perspective, from their workforce perspective, and the service perspective. So if I have to just talk through that, when we talk about Industry 4.0, how do they take advantage of the new tech on the factory floor? And specifically related to ServiceNow, how do they turn all the data and insights that they're getting into actionable items? On the supply chain perspective, how do they mitigate supply risk and cost due to trade wars, global events, pandemics, etc.? For their workforce, how do they operate and how do they prepare for a long time skilled workers retiring and capturing their knowledge? And how do they deal with the skill gap and labor shortage prediction for the industry? Last but not the least, the service side. How do they take advantage of the opportunity to drive more revenue and profit from post-sale services and new business models that shift from selling just a product to selling it as a service? So the manufacturing industry continues to evolve faster than ever. Companies that break down silos and embrace modern technology, such as a digital platform, will thrive on this environment. And we all know that because of the pandemic that hit us, specifically in the manufacturing side, the amount of innovation that we are experiencing, and we've experienced in the last, let's say, 12 to 18 months, probably if it would have been a normal routine, it would have taken 5 years for the manufacturing side to come there. These are just hypothetical numbers based on various studies and various interactions that we've had across people. And then we are measuring digital technology adoption, be the depth, be the culture penetration. Research has showed up that only the top 10% of the companies grow revenue at 2x the rate of the bottom 25%, which are laggards in the digital transformation. So it is the right time for stepping up and moving into the digital transformation part. Before we move forward, this is something that we heard Sushil also talk about. How do we make sure that all the assets from the manufacturing side can be connected using the IoT devices, bring us the insights which they are supposed to bring in. And if there are any specific actions required to be taken, there are persona-based people to whom the insights are being provided. And they can go out and do those, the required work which is required from them. Be it the field service agents, be it the quality inspection people, be it the engineers from the product team. How do we make sure that all of them are connected? So let's hang on. We just talked about, what is the industry looking at? What is Industry 4.0? And all of this sounds great. It definitely sounds great. But how do we bring all of them together? Even though manufacturers are making investments, They're falling short of expectations and face barriers, such as many of them still have legacy and point solutions that do not talk to each other and makes reporting and insights difficult, creating a single share experience for users. Current solutions and processes are not designed to deliver the experience employees and the customer expect. Lacking an integrated workflow tool to quickly and easily deploy robust solutions, Excel, Outlook, SharePoint are just not enough. And the biggest barrier is processes are not designed to easily flow between all the relevant stakeholders, be it at any location. So now we understand where the industry is moving. We also understand the current challenges which are present, which brings us to a point of view that the digitization needs to take place horizontally across processes and not just within a siloed department or process. Bringing processes into a single system of action will enable the enterprise cross-functional workflows across the value chain. And that is our point of view was that in the current scenario, when you look at the various industries which have this engage tool or various tools to perform a single process, manufacturing lists about 65% of their processes are not fully integrated within the industry. Obviously, leading our telecom because that's the basic connectivity section, and that involves a huge infrastructure and various people. But just next to them is the manufacturing side, which basically brings us to a point that no stakeholder can work independently, and almost all processes will involve multiple stakeholders. A single system of action will allow you to create efficient processes with great experiences across key stakeholders, such as customers, suppliers, distributors, workforce, factory operations, OT, IoT, whichever is relevant for that particular manufacturing section. So this really brings up to a point of making sure that how do we, from all the learnings and from all the processes that we've been talking about, where does ServiceNow come in, and why do we feel that ServiceNow is in the right position here to break the biggest barrier that we talked about, which is making sure that all the processes are designed to easily flow between all relevant stakeholders, and to also make sure that the digitization is taking place horizontally and not in a siloed process. ServiceNow is uniquely positioned for this because we help everyone in the ecosystem, all the relevant stakeholders, to interact using their channel of choice. So an omni-channel experience. This is again what Sushil also talked about. Having the right workflows enabled within the organization for connecting your customers, your sales teams, your distributors, your production teams, your factory teams, all in one platform, and being able to orchestrate and trigger certain workflows which help you to complete a process from an end-to-end perspective. And with the help of ServiceNow, which is a one platform, one data model, and one architectural design platform, it helps you to connect all the systems of record along with the right workflows enabled on the right channels that your end customer is wanting them to have, which basically makes ServiceNow a great platform as an opportunity from the manufacturing side. We often term ServiceNow as platform of platforms. So without any further ado, let's talk about what is ServiceNow actually doing on the manufacturing side. So ServiceNow has an offering of 5 different offerings for the manufacturing side. So there are 5 most important manufacturing offerings that ServiceNow provides. Customer workflows to transform the customer services and field services experience. Operations workflow to optimize your factory operation. Supplier workflow to improve supplier collaboration. Workforce workflows to improve engagement and productivity for your employees, contractors, and temporary workforce. And last but not the least, the strength of ServiceNow, which is the ITIL processes, the IT workflows to improve the delivery, reliability, and security of IT across enterprise. Let's quickly dig into each one of these 5 offerings to provide some details and share some customer stories. Let's talk about customer service operations. So there are 3 key areas ServiceNow is focusing on. Customer service operations, which connects all departments and functions to quickly and efficiently address and resolve customer requests and issues. Automate routine requests, freeing up resources to focus on the most strategic customer needs. Connect the front office, which is your sales and customer service, with the middle and back office, which is your quality, engineering, factory, production, planning, accounting, etc. Of customers' usage of your product and provide revenue generation after sales, service, and support. Last but not the least is part of the connected operation, which helps you to remotely connect, monitor, and service your connected products. The last bit of transforming your customer service operation, which is the one of the most important ones, because for manufacturers, dealers, and distributor support along with customer support is very much equivalent. So provide your customers, dealers, or distributors a world-class omni-channel experience to access to your organization for inquiries, requests, complaints, returns, and technical support. This will provide your reseller the support needed so they can focus on selling your product rather than going ahead and trying to resolve issues. Few examples. So let's talk about one of the leading electronics manufacturer that implemented the end-to-end solution from ServiceNow for managing customer complaints. This helps them to connect customer, sales, quality, supplier, basically all stakeholders across the value chain to be on a single platform, and hence maintain the standardization of all processes along with the complaint processes that they follow. They've got huge benefits of reducing the time to go back to the customer, and obviously improvising reducing the complaint issues for a particular product, because they've been able to identify the root cause of it, with ServiceNow being at the fulcrum. Second, and a very interesting use case is for TAPCO. And TAPCO uses one of our newest products. It's called Connected Operations. And a manufacturer of traffic signals using platform to capture data received from traffic signals in the field to monitor for health and deploy service to both prevent and respond to issues proactively. So here's a traffic signal manufacturer who's using the connected operations with the IoT bridge and the remote monitoring, and is able to triage and respond to any issues proactively, depending on the health of the signals that are coming out of the IoT bridge. Moving ahead, the second important point that we talked about was the optimizing your core operations. And in this aspect, ServiceNow is focusing on 3 key areas. One is connect your factory workforce. Provide your factory workers with the digital tools and experiences needed to be productive and safe. Digital workflows means that digitize your plant workflow involving issues and requests related to equipment maintenance, quality, safety, inventory, and facilities. Secondly, knowledge management. Reduce the risk of loss of institutional knowledge by providing shop floor workforce the work instructions, troubleshooting guides, and problem resolution history to empower all of your workforce regardless of level of experience or expertise. Last but not the least, the IoT data to action. Turn the data and insights from your connected assets into action. Proactively create and track incidents across your operation. The second important key area that ServiceNow is focusing on is manage and secure your OT assets. So a new product may be coming out fall 2021, which is in the next release, probably Rome, from ServiceNow to help you gain visibility of all OT assets in the factory, provide service and support to these OT assets to ensure they stay up and running, and lastly, ensure those assets are secure. Last but not the least, new product introduction. We have to make sure the moment that there is a new product that the organization is launching, the go-to-market is shorter and faster and simpler. to reduce the time to market for new products by leveraging workflows to improve collaboration and communication across the extended ecosystems involved in NPI. I love this example of Heineken. I also love Heineken for other reasons, but yes, I love this example of Heineken where they deployed ServiceNow to almost 140 plus of their breweries across the globe. Shop floor workers are easily able to report, diagnose, and resolve issues related to production. Even more powerful is that a production worker has access to the knowledge and experience of workers across the globe when resolving issues. So all resolved issues are captured and available in the powerful ServiceNow knowledge base. Plus, all the incidents reported helps the management to take intelligent decisions or a better decision making from the reports that are being generated out of the factory floor, in making sure which production point may be a bottleneck, how do we optimize them, how do we get better at this thing. The third most important one coming to is the improvising collaboration with your suppliers. I think the collaboration with suppliers in the manufacturing industry is one of the key processes. And again, three key areas where ServiceNow is focusing is on supplier partner management, which helps you to improve the performance of your suppliers who play such a critical role in your value chain, be it the engagement, be it onboarding them, be it issue management from their side, be it changes that they request for. So let me repeat that for you. From a supplier partner management perspective, ServiceNow is helping you to improve the performance of your suppliers by looking into four key areas: engaging with them, onboarding them, issue management, and changes that may be applicable, which is required to submit and gain approvals to change the BOM, material, etc. The second most important part on the supplier management is the supplier compliance and risk management. So you need to ensure your suppliers are in compliance with corporate and government policies and regulations, and identify and manage supplier risk. Last but not the least, reduce your supply chain disruptions. The Now X team has developed a beta solution that helps manufacturers to proactively identify potential disruptors and trigger necessary actions to mitigate or prevent the impact to production. This is still in beta and coming out in the market soon. And it's a great example of how the supplier management solution is being utilized by one of the leading manufacturers, auto manufacturers. Has that one of the auto manufacturers have their suppliers and related logistics transportation providers reports in delays of purchased products in route to a production assembly plant into a centralized data hub. So now the data hub is not ServiceNow, but ServiceNow serves as a system of action and takes the reported incidents from the data hub and assigns them to a supply chain help desk to address and resolve the supply chain issues reported. Action taken by help desk could include finding new supply sources, changing production schedules, etc. Quickly moving on to the next section, which is engaging your entire workforce. So we talked about how ServiceNow is the platform of platform in one of the earlier slides, wherein we're connecting the entire ecosystem and bringing everybody on board with ServiceNow being at the center. And workforce is again one of the important aspects. And I'm sure you've all heard, if you take care of your employees, the employees will take care of the work that they are responsible for. So hence, workforce becomes an important element as well. Again, to talk about, so there are plenty areas we can talk about from the workforce perspective, but the three key ones are the onboarding perspective of it, the safety perspective of it, and the service delivery side of it. So from the onboarding perspective, ServiceNow has the ability to reduce the time to onboard your full-time employees, your contractors, your temporary workers, and also ensure all necessary steps are taken to offboard workers as they leave your organization. Improving HR service delivery is another important aspect where we provide a single place for all employees to go to, which is an employee service center kind of a thing, for support on areas including payroll, benefits, PPE, grievances, etc. If there's any case that they're raising, so proper case management from that for the employee as well. Last but not the least, making sure that there's workplace safety. To ensure the health and safety of your factory and office employees by checking health status before they come back to work. Reporting of any known infections, COVID infections, contact tracking, and ensure proper PPE is provided. All of that can be facilitated within ServiceNow. One of the good examples here is General Mills, who's been engaging employees across the globe, more than 38,000 employees across 30 different countries. So a huge location base, a huge employee base to be covered. They have a single place to go and report any incident or talk about anything that is bothering them or they need support on. Use the knowledge articles to understand what the organization is doing for a specific case, and bring the transparency and standardization as we talked about. Last but not the least point is make the IT strategic for the factory, for the manufacturing side. Help the IT shift from just being a run function to focusing on grow and innovate initiatives. Again, we're focusing on three main key areas: modernize and automate IT, reduce the hardware, software, cloud costs, and manage the risk and resilience in real time. When we talk about modernizing, the IT, so all we mean to say is that quickly and efficiently route your cases, your incidents, your requests, be it from your employees, be it from your customers, contractors, partners. Probably give them an opportunity to do self-service, give them a virtual agent to free up resources, ensure factory employees have access to IT services, as many do not have their own computers. Reduce the hardware software cost, and this basically will help you to gain control of your IT software and hardware deployed in your factory, and make sure that they're running efficiently, and in case there is any requirement to bring any change or proactively change certain things, that can be provided. Managing risk ensures the visibility and security of IT infrastructure, which supports your plant. For example, what is the impact of loss of a wireless in some or all of a plant? Warehouse workers using handhelds connected via Wi-Fi to do a picking and shipping could shut down operations. So we have to make sure that the IT stands on a strong position from that side. And another great example on that is Siemens. Siemens uses the IT experience for all employees, and they're planning to expand even further, going beyond IT. 300,000 employees have access to request IT services. 600 different resolver groups consolidate onto ServiceNow, which shows the stability and expandability of all the processes present there. Time to get new employees up and running was reduced from weeks to days. I think that provides a lot of insight into what we have been doing. On one of the key focus areas from ServiceNow on all the 5 offerings that ServiceNow has for manufacturing side. Here's just a small example of certain brand names that we have on the manufacturing side. We have more than 1,200 manufacturing customers. 700 or more focused on just naming across industrial, automotive, processes, consumer goods, etc. If you start or how to start, get the discussion going to narrow down areas of opportunity. Align it to your corporate strategies. Find the right space. And if you have the aging and legacy solutions, find those solutions that are in place today, but just don't meet expectations anymore, or are custom and are at risk from a support perspective, or workflows in ERP that just take too long and are too expensive to deploy and change. There are always many processes that just don't work very well, and we are known pain points, of our customers. So if you want to find out yourself, or you want to involve us in finding that out, it is okay to start small and change the processes as we go ahead. I think this is all I had for today to share with the audience. Sushil, it's back to you.
Thank you, Kushag. Thank you for a wonderful presentation today. With this, I think we are open for questions, if you have any, and we have a couple of minutes left, so we are good to take them. Animish, can you check once?
Yes, just give me a second. I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
So we have about 3 questions that are up. So one is why it appears customers prefer technologically delivered customer service.
Okay. Thanks, Animesh. Yes. So customers, we have seen customers have given up earlier because they can't get what is expected from live humans in earlier days. And then customer have learned that getting something from live agents or either in a person or via phone, it is unlikely not satisfied experience which they had received. And then nowadays most of us look at internet first. So if you need to find any product information, you go to the internet and then just Google it, and then you find some buying advices, and for a good reason. Yeah. And that's the reason customer hope nowadays to new technology will improve these things, and it will make their life more easier for customers. And that's the reason they are it is preferred to go technologically deliver customer service.
Perfect. The second question is how does ServiceNow connect with the manufacturing industry, especially when you call it as a one single platform of truth?
Yeah, that's a nice question, I say. So, ServiceNow, connect your IT and operations, as Kush has mentioned earlier. So, you will be able to get a comprehensive view, across all the departments, whether it's a supply chain, automate, activities like part monitor, ordering, so that you can improve the productivity. And then you can also automate some repetitive tasks. And then with this internet of things, or servitizations, we can enhance your customer service. And that's the reason ServiceNow has come up with kind of connected platform, or a single platform for all kind of your operations.
All right. And there is last question that has popped up is how does ServiceNow integrate with ERP applications, and what are the other possibilities through it?
uh, yeah. So ServiceNow comes up with different integration capabilities. So it has some integration hub capabilities where you can utilize like plug and play basis, and you can integrate with your ERP solutions or any third party applications which you are currently using in your organizations, and you can flow the data of, out and into your ERP through ServiceNow. So that is one of the possibilities available there.
Hey, Sushil, can I just add to that?
Yes, sure. Kush.
Thanks. So definitely, I think that's a very interesting question. That how do we integrate with ERPs? Actually, to be honest, there are there's a store application for us. It's called store.servicenow.com. Feel free to check it out. There are out of the box available spokes for various ERP systems, be it SAP, C4C, HANA, etc. Any other ERP systems that you're using, which are ready to be deployed out of the box, and all you have to do is just go and get the right plugin for it. And in case there is a homegrown ERP that you're looking to connect to, then as Sushil mentioned, definitely using integration hubs or other modules which enables REST APIs, SOAP APIs, any other sort of integration, API integration that you're looking forward for, that can be enabled. I just wanted to add that on what Sushil mentioned, and I also wanted to mention on the last question where the question was around how does ServiceNow connect with manufacturing. I think during the slides when we talked about 5 specific ways of how ServiceNow is capable enough to align to manufacturing side, be it your customer service transformation, be it your employee management side, be it your field services side, just because of the sheer capability of being a platform of platform. And that's what our CEO, Mr. Bill McDermott, always talks about, being that one platform of action and connecting the entire ecosystem under one architecture, which helps in better reporting, better analyzing, better predictability, and enabling the management to take smarter decisions, which could convert to any processes across various industries, in a similar way to manufacturing as well. Sushil, that's what I wanted to add on this.
Perfect. There is one more question, Kushagra. So there is a question that once we are connecting ServiceNow, if we are utilizing ServiceNow for state and local government, does it, like, where does it focus on? Just operations or engagement to employees and citizens?
Kushal, would you like to answer that?
Hey, the initial portion was a little broken up. Can you repeat that entire question for me?
Yeah, sure. So the question is, if ServiceNow is implemented to state and local governments, does it focus only on operations or it connects also with citizens and employees?
Hey, that's a great question. Thank you so much for that question. Absolutely. See, the motto of the organization is we make the work flow. So be it a request coming in from the citizen services, be it coming in from the state government employees perspective, be it the central government, coming to a part of running the entire defense side of a country. ServiceNow has value to add in all of them. So if you specifically talk about from the government perspective, ServiceNow is capable enough. In fact, there are a lot of state governments outside of India who are utilizing ServiceNow to manage citizen requests. Also providing citizens a portal where they can go and not only get the basic requests that they want from the government, but also make sure that any sort of documentation required by the government or a new process or a new scheme that the government is coming out with, it is being the entire work is being able to flow from ServiceNow, from the request to the right stakeholders, from the fulfiller's perspective of who's the right person where this request should go and land, and then execute it. So we ServiceNow as an organization will be able to provide value on both sides, be it the government side, be it the citizen side. I hope that helps answer the question.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kushagra, for that. Perfect. So guys, we are up with the questions. If you have anything to add, we can add it up, and we can sum up the session today. And if there are any queries that are up over here, you can reach us out at info@dxsherpa.com, and we'll be happy to answer your queries and anything that comes up. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. Thank you, Kushagra. Thank you, Sushil. Thank you, attendees.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.